Ken, Tampa Bay's coming in tomorrow, having an incredible season, a lot of guys who can attack. What unique challenges do they present in the way they attack for you guys to defend?
Well, I think both teams provide challenges for each other. I think theirs is obvious. They have depth of scoring. They have a number of people that can burn you offensively. And they play a way more mature game than they did a couple of years ago. So they can come at you in waves, and if you're not ready for it and you're not ready to absorb it, then you're going to be in trouble. But in the same breath, we can do that too. Like we can really lean on people, and we're going to have to lean on them a little bit. I think both teams are built from pressure. Theirs is more puck possession pressure, and ours is more forechecking pressure. But it'll be interesting to see zone time tomorrow, because both teams need the offensive zone to create the extra scoring chances.
Are they better at going east-west than a lot of teams are, like just in terms of their ability to pass and guys who can control the puck?
Yeah, what they do is they can stretch you out. So they stretch you out on attacks. In other words, they're able to make long plays and gain zone by moving the puck great distance. Like their defensemen all can really move the puck, and they can trap you if you don't change well, if you don't have the right people on the ice, if you don't have numbers above the puck, they'll burn you. But where they're really good is they have the ability to find people outside of the coverage that put you in all kinds of trouble. So you think you're looking at the puck carrier and you think you've got numbers, but there's another guy outside the coverage that they find all the time. So their ability to find people away from the puck, to me, is the best in the league. It's not even close.
Ken, a couple of weeks ago, you talked about how the team you felt was playing at 60% of its potential. In the last couple of weeks, I know you haven't had too many practice days outside of the last 2 days. Do you feel like there's been progress in that regard? Yeah,
the 60% I meant was execution, not effort. We were at 80 or 85 on effort, which is, for this time of year, is great. But we weren't executing at a high level. I think the last 2 days have really helped us. I mean, we've gotten some of the drills were the same from back-to-back practices, and I thought we got better at talking on the ice. We got more automatic in our game. You know, I didn't like the fact in the last 2 days that we tried to stick handle the puck into the net too much at practice. We didn't shoot it enough, but after our little meeting on the ice, we started to shoot the puck. But I think any time we can do what we've done in the last 2 days is going to do nothing but benefit us. And now we just got to make sure we find energy to play the game. But I like the way we practiced in the last 2 days. Jimmy, that's a fine, by the way. If that cheap Torts was at $2,500, I'm going to $3,000.
And then another $3 for standing up in front of the camera.
Well, that guy's as old as dirt, so come on.
Do you need me to help?
They're all over your partner.
Give him a wave. Just wanted to ask you about Puljujarvi. In skating with McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins, they take lots of 5-on-5 minutes. Do you foresee, well, first of all, are you going to play him there tomorrow night for sure? And if you do you foresee him being able to take that kind of 5-on-5 ice time that those two are used to?
Do you work for TSN or Tampa?
I'm asking for too much detail.
I mean, he's practiced there for 2 days. There's no reason not to play him. I like what he does. I mean, I know there's some growth that still has to take place. Like, you look at him on the power play yesterday, he looked overwhelmed. You look at him on the power play today, he looked like he was comfortable. So we just got to go through those growth stages, which are the skill part. We got to get him up to speed skill-wise, but we don't have to get him up to speed working-wise, skating-wise, checking-wise. He's already there. He can play in the league at a high level when the other team has the puck, and I'm trying to get him up to speed when we have the puck. So why not play him with good players? He's not going to hurt us there defensively. He's competitive as heck. He's got a great conscience. And let's see if we can get his offensive part of his game, because even in 48 hours, his offensive part of his game grew dramatically just by being able to practice at such a high tempo with that group. And let's see what he can do.
From a confidence standpoint, often with young players, they get a little bit and they're able to push to new areas. Where are you seeing the confidence level of him right now?
Well, I think there's two or three things that are going on. First of all, he feels more connected to the team. He feels more comfortable, feels like he belongs. So his personality's starting to come out in the room, on the ice, off the ice, which I think is really appreciated by the players and the coaches. So that's a big step for him because he's comfortable in this atmosphere now. And secondly, there's no reason that he can't end up being a top 6, 7 forward in the National Hockey League. Now, whether he can do it immediately or whatever, I don't know. But I know right now I can play him as a top 9 anywhere and feel comfortable that he's going to do the right stuff when the game's on the line. And so that's a really good starting point for a young player.
Ken, it seems like Ty Ratty's getting a little bit more of an opportunity here of late, and I'm curious, just given your background with him, what did you kind of come in expecting from Ty, and was it kind of tough to maybe shake some of those preconceived notions that you had about him in the past?
Yeah, for me, the NHL is playing through people, not to people. And when we had Ty in St. Louis, he played to people, but not through people. So at lower levels, junior and the American Hockey League, he could out-anticipate people and get pucks. They gave him back the puck, basically. At the NHL, they don't do that stuff. You got to go get it. And he's learned over time to go and get the puck now. So he fights harder for pucks. He goes and gets pucks. He doesn't wait for the opposition to give it to him. So that part he's made adjustments. But he's a scoring player, and he has to be put into position, whether it's on the power play or 5-on-5 to score, and then he's got to do his job. But the big step for me in his game, quite frankly, is that he now plays through people, and that allows him to be a competent player in the league, whereas before he just played to the opposition waiting for them to make errors.
Just to follow up then, I know he said he had a conversation with you to try to convince you that he is a different player now. Did that take a little bit of convincing? Was that?
Yeah, he is a different player. He's learned what it takes to stay in the NHL. And he's a much different player than the one that was in either Chicago or St. Louis. And he showed flashes of this in St. Louis, but not consistently. And now you're starting to see it every day. Practice, games, whatever. You're starting to see a player that understands in order to have the puck, you're going to have to work to get it back, and he's doing that stuff.
Darnell Nurse playing against that powerhouse team. Is this another step for Darnell, playing on the first pairing, even though he's playing lots of minutes? This is a different task, I guess, if they're the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a matchup issue for us right now because we had 2 pairs before that you could flash out against the other team's top lines. Now you're dealing with 2, maybe 3 top lines, and we're missing, 2 of the top 4 guys effectively. So we're going to have to do more zone work. In other words, where the puck starts is Darnell's going to have to start in that zone. So that's a significant responsibility. But we can't do the matchups we did before because of Russell and Clefbaum being missing. So he's going to have to take on even more responsibility. And quite frankly, he's done a heck of a job. For a guy that's playing half the game, basically, he's made big steps. I think we were talking about this. It's the same step when Hedman went out. McDonough went up another level because he had the similar responsibility, and his game improved. And I think that's what happened with Darnell, is that his game's got to another level just through opportunity because of injury.